Vice Mayor Cott,
Here.
Commissioner Ranello,
Present.
Commissioner Casabun,
Here.
Mayor Dixon.
Here. Please join me, as Pastor Brian Robinson approaches and gives us the invocation.
Good morning, evening, everybody. See, church, I'm used to good morning. One of the great honors that I and a number of the clergy here in the great city of Millville get to have is also serving as police and fire chaplains in the city. It is a great honor to be able to serve those who serve our city so well. And so would you please bow with me this evening? Gracious God, we gather this evening both as neighbors and as stewards of this city that we love so much and you've entrusted to us. We're asking for your presence tonight, that wisdom would guide the deliberations, patience would shape listening, concern for every student, for every resident would be genuine, and would ground every decision made here. Grant to these commissioners clarity of mind and courage of conviction. Where there's disagreement, let there be respect. Where there are hard choices, let there be integrity. And where are those in our city who are vulnerable, overlooked, or struggling, may their voices find welcome at this table. Remind us that public service is sacred work, that in caring for this city, we are caring for one another, and in caring for one another, we are honoring you. Go before us now and in all that we do. In the name of your love, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join us in a salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor, there is one resolution to add, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Millville authorizing the city to advertise for bids for the Project Pleasant Drive water improvements.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And we now move to the public comment on agenda items only. We now have reached the public comment portion on agenda items only. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address and your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Seeing no one approach the podium, I will close the public comments on agenda items only. Madam Clerk, are there any presentations?
There are none, Mayor.
Let's move to the bills.
Yes, we just need a motion to approve the bill list.
Make a motion?
Second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes. Madam Clerk, any petitions or letters?
There are none, Mayor.
All right, let's move to the reports of commissioners. Commissioner Taylor.
Yes. So I'll start off with the police department report. There were 2,826 calls for this month. We have 7 new officers that have graduated on the 12th. Congratulations to them. They have started this week in in-house training. We now have, on the books, we have 71. We have 57 full-time on duty. That's without the new 7. Or with the new 7, we'll have 64. With the new academy that we're going through, we're hoping to have 14 going into the new academy. We already have 5 candidates that are ready to go that have passed all their preliminaries, and we're waiting for the additional 9 to go through that process. And we also have an additional 5 spots in the following academy after that. The new officers that graduated should be on the road and on their own by June. EMS calls, we had a total of 627 EMS calls. Patients treated were 415. Services or transport or services not needed were 212. I'd like to offer condolences to the Frank family on the loss of Carl Frank. Carl Frank was a longtime Millville Water Department employee. He passed away on March 7th, and I offer my condolences. I was friends with the family for years. I grew up with Chris, and my condolences go out to him and his family. As far as myself, meetings, we had a meeting and discussion with, at the high school, Commissioner Cott and I went to Mark Daigle's law enforcement class, and we talked to the students there about hopefully getting some of them as officers or dispatchers in the future. Had a really nice conversation with the group, a lot of input from them. We've been having meetings with camera companies in reference to the camera project for High Street and UEZ zone. That's been going well. We have another meeting to discuss infrastructure and options for the cameras and upgrades. I've also had a couple conference calls with other companies to see what they have to offer. Still working with Commissioner Ranello and her department to improve lighting and other safety improvements throughout the UEZ and Buck Park area. We've been working on that. We took a walk a couple months ago, and we're still working on that. So that's, we're progressing there. And a lot of the safety concerns and upgrades may be solved by the new paver project too, with the lighting that they're going to be putting in with that. I meet daily with Mr. Bitterman on multiple topics for his insight and assistance on things. I cannot say enough about Mr. Bitterman and the knowledge and the help that he gives me and the rest of the commission. He is always willing to talk. He's always willing to have an open door, and he's got good information, and a lot of times it's information that I didn't think of, and I'm glad he's part of the team. We did have an after-action meeting for the last snowstorm to discuss deficiencies and where we can improve. Kudos to all the departments for doing a great, excellent job during that snowstorm, and also to all of the department heads that came to the meeting. We had a great discussion. It was a lengthy meeting, so we did well. I meet regularly with my department heads, even if it's just a casual, brief introduction, hello, or a scheduled meeting to discuss their departments, what they like, what they don't like, what their wants or needs are. My departments know that my office is always open, whether it's the chief or lower, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. It does not matter who it is. I make myself available to them and accessible whenever they need to. My office door is always open. Sorry, my allergies are driving me crazy tonight for some reason. That also goes for the public. I am usually in the office every day, except Wednesdays. I'm not in the office Wednesdays. Usually there by 9, stay till about 4. Anybody from the public can stop into the 3rd floor anytime they wish. Ask one of the clerks or the secretaries that are there. If I'm in the office, that way, if I have a meeting, I don't want to cut things short or avoid you or anything like that. We can have a casual conversation, constructive. I'm all ears. I do not conduct city business on social media platforms. I don't. I won't. I haven't. I have an office. I have an email. I have a city phone. We have an extension in our office now. I welcome the public input. I have said it since day one that it is important that the public feel that they can engage with me and the other commissioners whatever way they feel comfortable. Public interaction with this commission is just one of the key components of our success. We have been in office for 75 days. This will be our 75th day. Each one of us have been working diligently within our departments to come up with solutions and what we face, not only for this year, but for the next 4 years. Government works at a snail's pace at best, and we are doing what we can as quickly as we can. We cannot fix everything overnight. It's not going to happen. It's just, we need time. We continue to work as a team, commissioner helping commissioner, department helping department, to come up with the best solutions to the problem facing our city. I'm glad I have the team we have. I'm glad I have the department heads and the employees that we have in this city. We could not do it without them. We cannot do it without the public. And with that, Mr. Mayor, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, to you as well. And I'll vouch for Commissioner Taylor. He's probably the only guy that is in City Hall more than I am. I do about 25 hours a week in my office, and he's usually there when I get there, and I may stay a little later than him, but it's not much later. So he's putting the time in and take advantage of Mr. Taylor's presence in City Hall. He welcomes it. Let's go to Commissioner Cosman.
Okay. I don't spend a lot of time here, but they all know where I am at usually Streets and Roads or Water Department. Out on the streets is what I am. All right, just a couple little reports from Streets and Roads. As of this morning, they're finishing up South Millville and heading towards the third wharf for the brush collection. That's from the storm. If you didn't get that brush out in time, that's okay. Residents can continue to put that brush out to the curb until the end of April, and when Streets and Roads will do that spring cleanup beginning in May. Also, residents can also place those loose leaves out at any time after March the 31st. Just a reminder, you can place leaves out there all year long, but they must be in bags. We can't pick them up if they're not. Also, after beginning April the 1st, they will start collecting this leaves and brush. Please do not mix the brush and the leaves together. They do not get mixed as per DEP. We're not allowed to do that. If you have any questions, call our Streets and Roads at 825-7000. Talk to Teresa. She's a sweetheart of a girl, and she knows everything she's talking about, and she knows that Streets and Roads. Potholes are being fixed as reported. Just a reminder, you can report anything on the web. It's called Request Tracker. You can report anything from Streets and Roads pots, abandoned homes, abandoned cars, trash on the street. It's everything. You are our eyes. We need you. We need you as citizens to do that for us. And just a quick water meter update. Since January the 20th, they have completed 747 installs. So we're on a roll there too. And with that, that's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Cosman.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ranello.
Yes, before I give my report here, I noticed that Commissioner Taylor, we had a motion to receive and file. Do you want to,
Every time. Every
how do we want to do that here?
I'd like to make a motion to receive and file the January, February 2026 fire reports and February 26 EMS and police reports.
I will gladly second that.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes, I get so excited about the commissioner's reports that I skipped right over it. Apologize, Commissioner Ranello, for that. My oversight. If you'd like to continue.
Sure. I want to wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day for those who celebrate. I'd like to kick off my report by congratulating the winners of our St. Patrick's Day coloring contest. So we had Joel Ramos Reyes, Stephanie Ramos, Danielle Shepard, Liv Ramos, and Yelenis Rivera. You all did an incredible job, and I have to say, I have never seen a puppy look so delighted to sport a green leprechaun top hat. So good job. With spring right around the corner, we're excited to host our annual Egg-tastic Easter egg celebration. So we're encouraging everyone to join us on Saturday, March 28th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. behind Lakeside Middle School at the Tim Shannon Sports Complex, and that's at 2 Sharp Street. We encourage all children in the community to come out and take part in this Easter egg hunt. It's going to be a fun-filled morning for everyone. Also want to express a really heartfelt thank you to everyone who donated plastic eggs and candy. Your generosity is helping make this event truly special for all of our kids here. And just a reminder, even though it doesn't have to do with parks or recreation, this Friday is Third Friday on High Street. So between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., take some time to explore art at 3 different galleries, grab a drink or a meal at one of our local spots. Stop by. We have a new boutique at Village on the High that's opening this Friday as they celebrate their opening day. And it's important that we come out and we support local. Our downtown only thrives when we show up for it. We're also going to have Easter sunrise service, which we mentioned in the work session, on Sunday, April 5th at 6:30 a.m. at Corson Park. All are welcome to join as the community comes together to celebrate Easter morning and enjoy the sunrise. So this past Saturday, I spent the afternoon at the Wood Mansion for a really great presentation and exhibit hosted by the Millville Historical Society, which featured Dr. Patricia Chapin. It focused on the role of New Jersey women during World War II, and it was honestly really fascinating to hear some of those stories, especially the impact of local women right here in our community. I also saw Vice Mayor Cott there behind me, and I know we were both really drawn into this presentation because we kept looking at each other. The room was fully engaged. It was an amazing turnout. I was informed that about 85 to 100 people showed up for this, which is always nice to see for our events. If you haven't already, I really encourage everyone to follow the Millville Historical Society and check out their future exhibits. They're doing some really great work and bringing our local history to life. We also have some exciting updates to share about improvements already underway. The concession stand at the Tim Shannon Sports Complex just got a fresh upgrade. Brand new floors with a bold orange and blue flake finish. If you saw the old floors, you'd agree that this was long overdue. So this has been wonderful. As the home of our Midget Football League, it's great to see improvements for our young athletes and their families. Also, as many of you know, the old swing set at Corson Park was removed at the end of January to make room for a brand new one this spring. The footings are already in place, and we're just waiting for the installer to set up the new swing set. As of right now, it looks like that should be done by the end of this week. So I want to talk a bit about Buck Park. This park really means a lot to me personally. I walk it often. And when I first moved here, it was right within walking distance of my home. It's been tough to see it in its current condition over the last couple of years, and I've been very vocal about the need to make it safer, better lit, and more welcoming for our families. And I'm glad to share that improvements are finally on the way. Work is going to begin at the end of March, even if some may not notice it right away due to the ongoing bridge construction. There's a lot that's going to be addressed, including repairs to the pavers and sidewalks, new benches, trash cans, updated LED lighting throughout the park to brighten it up, and replacement of damaged or missing riverfront railings. And I'll be frank, we've had people rip wires right out of poles, leaving the lights inoperable. All of this is being addressed in the coming months. I do want to emphasize that this isn't due to lack of effort from our employees to keep up with it. They all work very hard. It's largely been a funding issue and prioritizing how that funding is spent. Too often we wait until things are in serious disrepair before acting, which ends up costing a lot more. And preventative maintenance really matters. So if you see something in our parks that need attention, please report it. Taking care of small issues early helps us avoid bigger, more expensive problems later. If you have any concerns about any of our upcoming recreational events or any concerns about our parks or public property, please call Samantha Cruz at 856-825-7000, extension 7394. And I also want to give a brief report from our sewer department for the month of February. The sewer utility operated smoothly throughout February with no major issues at the plant and all systems functioning as expected. Staff continued routine operations while completing key maintenance and repairs, including equipment servicing, sensor calibration, filtration, and UV system cleaning, and updates to electrical and mechanical components. Field crews responded to 17 sewer calls completed over 4,200 feet of sewer cleaning, addressed pump station and infrastructure issues, and assisted with snow removal operations throughout the month. So overall, the department maintained reliable performance while proactively handling maintenance and supporting all of our city's needs. So we want to thank everybody in the Parks Department as well as the Sewer Department. They're doing amazing work regularly, and they don't get enough recognition, in my opinion, so I'd like to thank them. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Ranello. Vice Mayor Cott.
You want to do that first or last?
Yeah, let's do that one first.
Yeah,
We
let's
need
just
a-
get that out of the way.
We need a motion to receive and file the tax collector's annual report for 2025 and the tax collector's report for February 2026.
Like to make a motion?
Second?
All right, a little discussion on that. So you have two things you guys can look at while you're, have a little bit of time on your hands. So it's all 25, everything we collected throughout the year. It's 26 pages, right, John? John just finished reading all of them. There is an error on the last page. Why I was sitting here, I looked real quickly, so the solid waste does have an improper total, but if that was a correct total, everything else would be good, John. I did a quick math on that. So for some reason, the total for the difference between the solid waste on the last page, for whatever reason, is off. But that will be corrected. That's a Excel clerical error, but we'll fix that. We also have February that just brings in, shows you all the pilot taxes, liens, contributions, and miscellaneous, and water and sewer, and all of our collections that we made in the month of February as well.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Now to go to other things in our department. First of all, good evening and happy St. Patrick's Day. I'd like to see there's a few more people in attendance today. That's always nice. A few things we're doing. I also want to touch on Commissioner Ranella, the Historical Society. That went very well. Just a great turnout there. I was there when it was Wawa. I went in there a few times. I unfortunately have not been there much since it's turned into the Historical Society, and I do apologize for that. Very impressive, the amount of information you can get in there. And the speaker was unbelievable. She has a book already out for sale, another one coming out in July, or it's coming out now, but she said in July the paperback will be out and it might be a little cheaper. This was from her, so I don't feel bad about sharing that. But it really delves into the women in World War II in South Jersey. So very proud. I got the book, started reading it and loving it. Things we're doing with us, we're working on safety in the city. We're changing things around with our safety coordinator. We're really expanding our HR department. We're trying to make the processes in the city, streamlining everything, just building a lot of things up that's been ignored over the years. We're enabling a lot of department heads. The administrator's been meeting with them constantly. And you're starting to see improvements now. You're starting to see department heads talking to the department heads and really come up with some great ideas for the city. Very encouraging. We have a lot of talent in this city, a lot of talent. And now you can see that they're giddy sometimes that they're allowed to do things now. They're allowed to have say in their department, and it's very refreshing. Some of the other things we went to, as Commissioner Taylor said, there was two things we went to the high school. We went to the career fair too.
Oh, we did, yes.
We did. Fire, police, and rescue were there. The dog was there, so he took everybody else's attention away. You know, those fire dogs, everybody wants to pet the dog. But that was well attended as well too.
A lot of kids at that one.
A lot of kids. The entire high school walked through there, so you got to talk to a lot of potential employees later, if you will. The Camaries Market out on West Main Street, for those who don't know, they've been there for 5 years. They just celebrated a 5-year. Me and Commissioner Taylor went out there. Just if you have anything, plants or anything like that, go on out there. She's there. She's looking to do more in the city too. She's really trying to invest in the city of Millville, so you might be hearing that name coming up in the near future as well. We're just trying to get a lot of the staffing level back up. We've been working diligently on that. We're meeting with different people to try to find out what grant money's out there to help, taxpayers and just get more things that we might not be able to get done. We have people working on that. Some of the bad news is you have no clue how much time we spend just with pending litigation and lawsuits. I don't want to walk around that, but they're out there. And they do take up a lot of our time and a lot of money. So just remember that. We've been working on the Millville Affordable Housing Act. We've been talking, try getting compliance with that. We've been out of compliance for a little bit, but we're working on getting that taken care of too. An employee-driven thing, the Millville Magic is up and running. Today, they were able to put things on their doors, and people went out and judged that. I don't know who the winners are yet. I'm sure mine will be making it to Facebook because I'm a leprechaun on one of them. So I'm waiting to see that on social media.
You have hair in that one.
I do have hair in that, so obviously that is not a real depiction of me. But yeah, it was Commissioner Cott's Lucky Charms is what the door said. So I thought that was cute. So I would love to see that on Facebook. We're working on a lot of budgeting items. A lot of things that's been overlooked for a long time. We're working on our fleet. Our fleet is extremely old, and we're working on how to make that a long-standing budget items instead of, trying to put Band-Aids on everything like we've been doing. So we've been busy, but that's all I have for now.
All right, thank you, Vice Mayor. Where do I start? Fifth floor, permits and inspections. One of the things that we we looked at doing when we came aboard was making sure that people were getting work permitted. Good news is year to year, we are up about 15% in our licensing and inspections dollar value, which is good. I've heard through the grapevine that developers or contractors are now taking Millville more seriously. I've heard that through the grapevine, Millville's not playing around anymore. So now that they know we're going to catch them, our permitting and inspections, people who are coming to do work that they're supposed to get permitted. It's a safety issue. If you're not getting things inspected, electrical work, water heaters, that gentleman right there will come to see you in a bad way when it catches on fire. So it's very.
He's like, where are you going with this?
Where's that going? He'll see you with a truck when. Inspections and permitting is very important. If it's not done correctly, Mr. Wetstein will be bringing a truck out there to stop your house from being on fire. So not only does it bring revenue to the city, but it's also very important for safety. So far, we've had 30 instances of unpermitted work, and we're going to see less and less of that as contractors realize that we are more serious about what we do. Couple things from engineering. We're working toward the infrastructure for water on Pleasant Drive, and we should be getting to Pleasant Drive paving sometime around the fall. I'm sure the folks on Pleasant Drive have been waiting very patiently to get that done, but we're going to upgrade the infrastructure of the water first before we pave it. Wouldn't make sense to do it the other way around. You wouldn't tear up paving. You don't want to tear it up after the paving's done. We're also taking steps toward finishing the paving of the Millville side of Laurel Lake. I know those folks have been waiting patiently to get the rest of those, so we're taking steps toward that, and I'm sure they're going to be happy with that. One thing I need to mention is UEZ grants, facade grants. If you own a business in a UEZ zone in the city, and you want to get a $20,000 grant to upgrade the facade of your business, call us down here at City Hall. You can call my office. You can call Joe Couchy's office. We want to talk to all the businesses and make sure that you are taking advantage of the grants that you don't have to pay back to get your facade upgraded. Now, you do have to be a UEZ certified business, which isn't that difficult. So just call us. We'll talk to you about that process, and we'll make sure that you're getting free money to make your business look better. So that's an amazing thing. We're working with CDBG funds to get those demolitions going. We're still working very strongly in that direction. As Mr. Sherman said, Commissioner Sherman said, things do work slowly, but we should have 5 or 6 buildings that are in dire need of being demolished in the city. Very happy when that's going to happen because we don't want to see blight in the city. That'll be great. We have 2 businesses coming to High Street very soon. That we have a tattoo shop that's coming. I've seen some mock-ups of what they're going to do. They're going to invest a lot of money in making something very nice. And then there's another business coming. Don't want to get ahead of my skis here, but a couple nice businesses coming down to High Street. I think you alluded to one a little earlier. Great news. We are almost out of land to sell in Millville as far as development. So that's a good thing. We are working hard to make sure every bit of land that's been sold in Millville gets developed as quickly and as efficiently as possible, because once stuff is developed, we start getting revenue from them. So the more value that's put into these lands that are developed, the more revenue the city gets, and the better off. So our economic development manager, Joe Couchy, works very hard. He gets in before I do. He stays way later than me, and he works way harder than me. So I'm real happy with what he's doing. Negotiations continue with the DRBA. Our DRBA partners are wonderful people, and we are working diligently with them to make sure that Millville gets the most out of an asset that we all think will benefit the city. So we work with our DRBA partners on negotiations. We're excited to keep working with them and collaborate with them. They're great people, and we look forward to working with them. The one thing that Commissioner Ranallo did not mention, I'm very sad about that, is the patriotic parade and because I am going to be Uncle Sam in it. So I think about it every day I wake up, and I think about me being Uncle Sam at the end of that parade. So I want to mention that again. So businesses, this is the Millville Christmas Parade. I have put my business in every year for the past, 15, 20 years. It is a free way to promote your business. We hand out little cards. You have a sign for your business. It is a virtually free way to get the name of your business out there. So if you want to promote your business, call us up and we'll get you in the parade. And you can set up a table over at the, there's going to be vendor
That's
areas.
separate.
Yeah, it's separate. That's going to be over at Lakeside. So talk to us how you can promote your business and be a part of that big event. And that would be, we're looking forward to that. There's going to be fireworks. There's going to be pro wrestling. I'm going to see if we can get Commissioner Ranello up there. They can hit her with a chair in the pro wrestling event. Would you be up for that? Would you hit me with a chair?
Let's continue.
All right, and that's all I have for my report. Let's move on. Let's move on to regular business, Madam Clerk.
Yes, we do have some ordinances for first reading. Ordinance for first reading, item number 1, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Millville, chapter 39, motor vehicle and traffic regulations, remove handicap parking at 502 Dock Street.
Make a motion?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Ordinance for first reading, item number 2, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Millville, chapter 39, motor vehicle and traffic regulations, add handicap parking at 919 North Street.
Make a motion?
Like to second it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Ordinance for first reading, item number 3, an ordinance amending the municipal code of the city of Millville, chapter 39, motor vehicle and traffic regulations, add handicap parking at 219 West McNeil Street.
Make a motion?
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Ordinance for first reading, item number 4, an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for First United Methodist Church of Millville to hold a coin drop on May 23rd, 2026 at the intersections of Buckshootum Road and Cedarville Road.
Make a motion?
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Ordinance for first reading, item number 5, an ordinance approving and authorizing an application to the Cumberland County Roadway Department for the Dividing Creek Fire and Rescue to hold a coin drop on August 29th, 2026 at the intersections of Buckshootum Road and Cedarville Road.
Make a motion?
Like to second it.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolutions. Resolution item number 1, resolution authorizing tax and utility adjustments.
Like to make a motion?
Second the motion.
Yeah, if this is any adjustments that were made the previous month for water, sewer, any billing, sometimes they're refund checks and overages and others.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution item number 2, resolution amending sludge hauling contract through December 31st, 2026, in an amount not to exceed $400,000.
I make a motion?
Wait, hang on. Yeah, this resolution's to extend the contract through the rest of the year to haul sludge away from the sewer.
I make a motion?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution item number 3, resolution authorizing amendment number 1 to Action Uniforms contract.
Make a motion?
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution item number 4, resolution authorizing the City of Millville to award a non-fair and open contract to AKRF Inc. for licensed site remediation professional consulting services.
I'd like to make a motion?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
Resolution item number 5, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Millville authorizing the city to advertise for bids for the Project Pleasant Drive water improvements.
I'd like to make a motion?
Second the motion.
Roll call, please.
So, just
sorry.
real quickly, this is, what you were talking about, this is a motion to put out the bids for the infrastructure that we need before the paving can start. And being that the paving is not far away, we really need to get this done as quickly as possible because we do not want to tear up that brand-new paving, so we want the infrastructure done first, so.
This is part of the lead remediation, partially what we're doing.
Yeah, lead and galvanized piping.
Galvanized piping, yeah.
Required by the state, yes.
Yep, the state's requiring us to and make those improvements, and
Correct.
Doesn't
And
make sense
we
to
have
do it.
funding through a bond for that.
yes, very good. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes. Any new business, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mayor. New business item number 1, motion to approve special event application on public lands Olympic Day Parade on May 22nd, 2026, 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Make a motion?
I'll second the motion?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes.
New business item number 2, motion to approve special event application on public lands First United Methodist Church Sunrise Service on April 5th, 2026, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m.
Make a motion?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon.
Yes. All right, we've now reached the public comment portion of the meeting. Anyone who would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address and your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Where are we?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Davina Forrest, but Millville Police Department knew me as Davina Cotman. My concern, and has been my concern, is the crime that's going on in the city of Millville. I live on South 3rd Street, and between the Blue Bar, the railroad bar is there, and then South 4th Street is behind me. A lot of crime has been going on in the city of Millville, as we know, and I had installed. It got so bad because I take care of my mother, my elderly mother. I've been taking care of my mom for 4 years now. She turned 99 June 18th of this year. I had installed cameras. I registered with Millville Police, and my cameras are excellent. I came today, this evening, because I feel more cameras should be installed on the street lights, on the poles, because between the drugs and the guns, with the young people today, they don't have no respect for the prominent citizens in Millville, New Jersey. I grew up in Vineland, but I've been living in the city of Millville over 30 years, and it has been declined. Last week, we know about the standoff and so forth. And also, I had rolled by on Green Street, right off of High Street. And right by the bodega over there, I seen a group of young men. I call them boys because they were playing craps, and they had weapons on the side of them. And I pulled over. My girlfriend said, "Davina, don't pull." I said, "No." I said, "What are you doing?" It's young African-American young men acting simple, had guns and playing crap like this is the ghetto. So my concerns I bring to the city of Millville, I bring to the commissioner that we should try to get more cameras, on the pole, more cameras, because the crime is really, really, really bad. It's a shame that I sleep at night. Now, where I live at, anything that happens on South 3rd Street, South 4th Street, I got cameras going, both ways, and I got some good cameras. I got cameras on my rooftop. And Millville Police will come to me, "Ms. Cotman, you got the footage." I have 6 cameras in the front, 1 on the side, and 1 on the rooftop in the front. In my backyard, I have it on the rooftop and also on the door. So I have like over 10 cameras, and it sees everything. But I just come to you all, and I plead and I beg, because we have a lot of citizens that been here all their life, and it's a shame that the city of Millville, I know we're building up High Street and so forth, it's looking good. The park is not even safe, as the commissioner said earlier. The park is not even safe anymore. It's drug abuse there. People can't even walk and exercise. You can't even take your children to the park because you're afraid somebody's thinking they in a gang banging, and it's out of control. And it's a shame the way the city of Millville has went down. It is a shame. A lot of the people that build businesses here, they can't even progress in their business because they're afraid, if I had my business open at a certain time, is somebody gonna come in here and rob me? So my concerns is really the crime rate, cameras. We need more cameras. I believe the police should be more aggressive. Okay, more aggressive. Not lean back, more aggressive. Because if we don't come together as a city and come together, I'm telling you, it's gonna fall apart. Any rebuilding and trying to make it comfortable for out-of-towners, because I know on High Street they have a lot of celebration going. It's be the parades and so forth. But if we're on the news all the time. I had my mom's nurse call me. She said, "What's going on, Davina?" She said, "I heard." I said, "She's fine. My mother's fine." It's a bad vibe. We could fix up, renew, but still that sense of fear from the outsiders. They were like, "I don't want to come there because I'm afraid," So my concern is like more cameras,
Thank you,
more,
Ms. Forrest.
surveillance on the town. Thank you for letting me
Miss
voice my opinion.
Ms. Forrest, thank you so much. I think you've channeled my spirit animal. Every time I come into the City Hall every morning, I think I channel those exact words to everybody. They're tired of hearing me, but they're on board. They're on board. I don't think there's a day Sherman doesn't come in and think the same thing you're thinking. As Commissioner Taylor says, the wheels of government grind ever so slowly. We are working toward every one of those things that you said. We absolutely are moving as fast as we can toward every one of those things. And there's things we have to put in place in order to get there, but I just want to make sure your concerns are noted, and we are on the way with each one of those. And everyone here, want to jump in with that?
I do. So
Go ahead.
Ms. Cotman, I was the dispatcher for the police department for 25 years, so I know how much you've been involved with the community over those years. I've talked to you many times. You are very good at your information. It's usually spot on. Your cameras as well. You're the eye in the sky. And like I said, I hear you. We're doing what we can as fast as we can. The chief knows we have a goal of 85 officers by the end of this year, more by the end of next year. We are trying to get officers as quickly as we can. The problem that we are having is that we're all pulling from the same pot, all the municipalities, and we are trying to better the salaries, the steps, and all that stuff so that our officers stay here and we get more coming in. And like I said, I've known you for a great many years, so I've talked to you several times. And I appreciate you coming here tonight too. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, and thank you, Commissioner Sherman. Next.
Good evening. My name is Angelica Hanstein from Millville. I had come to another meeting previously to talk about the Millville chicken ordinances as they stand. I was faced with the dilemma of having to rehome my chickens because I was found to be in a violation of not being able to have chickens in our town. It was no nuisance issue. It was no smell issue. There was no actual issue with my chickens. It was more so a property line. Apparently, the way that the zoning is written currently, it is seen that you can't have a single chicken on less than a full acre in Millville. The average property size is 0.27 acres throughout the city of Millville. So this is very restrictive and does not allow for many residents to have it whatsoever. So it's less of a restriction and more of an outright just ban, more so. And I had the liberty of speaking with Congressman Jeff Van Drew about this issue as well, who also saw it as, Millville has a lot of issues that you guys are working out. But to sit here and be like, oh, no chickens because agriculture issues. So when does it stop as far as we're policing yards because people are enjoying their yard as far as gardening or having a couple chickens, obviously not going crazy and having a whole huge flock, but just, a handful, have 6, 8 chickens, whatever have you. But that's been our issue. Like we're policing that instead of actually fighting the crime. And it's actually been noted that towns that allow chickens actually have less crime because homeowners are out of their house more in their yard. Neighbors know neighbors, which is very seldom now. Plus, you're watching your vehicle's less likely to get broken into. You're in your yard more. Children that are brought up raising them learn the value of hard work and dedication and are less likely to offend later because they're not going to go and just steal your stuff. They get the hard work that goes into it. Then there's the avian flu is thrown around a lot. But chicken owners themselves are usually taking really good care of them. They're typically eating those eggs. They're obviously making sure that the chickens are cleaned and well cared for. And I find no actual reason to where we can't set different limits. You can keep the 25-foot between the coops and the neighbors. You can keep the sizing that is in the ordinance. Everything else is fine. It's really just saying 1 acre or nothing. That is the issue. If we could come down and say, hey, if you allow, it's 32 per acre currently. So even if you just dwindle that down, hey, 16 on a half acre, maybe 8 on a quarter acre. If you don't want to go any lower, fine. The average, like I said, the average parcel in Millville is about a quarter acre. So even if we just went down to that and made it 4, 6, 8, whatever have you, to just make it more inclusive, encourage it. You brought up World War II. During war times, it was actually encouraged that households had 2 chickens per resident because, know it or not, chickens don't lay eggs every day. If you have 2, you're lucky if you get 1 a day. And we're in, wartime right now, and hopefully it's not this long, drawn-out thing, but why not encourage it? Why are we not encouraging self-sufficiency? And we're not just not encouraging it, but we're making it a ban, like we're not allowing it. And I find that a really big issue. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What is your last name, Angelica?
Hanstein, Hanstein.
Mrs.?
Yes.
I would take issue with just a couple things. We're going to make comments toward the end of this, but I'm going to say, you did say something, we are policing chickens and not crime. I'm sure our police department and our public safety director would have something to say about that. Our police department works very hard with the numbers they have to police crime every day. So I'm sure that, I don't know if Commissioner Taylor, you would like to comment on that, but I would say that that's not true. I know our police officers. I know many of them that work in this dangerous city every day. They are policing crime, and we are not policing chickens. The reason we are here,
Two different departments.
two different
Two
departments.
different departments.
Nope.
Right.
I would say the reason we are here, we were told that originally, well, I'm going to hold some of these comments till the end. But thank you, Ms. Hanstein. Hanstein, thank you for your comments. We're going to have comments at the end. Sir.
Hello, my name is Alec Bryant. I'm the pastor of the God of Hope Mission, and I live at 804 North 7th Street in Millville. And one of my concerns today is sustainable living.
Pastor, what was your last name again? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You're fine. You're fine. It's Bryant.
Brian, thank you. I'm sorry.
Like Kobe, except no rich basketball player ever paid my student loans. So unfortunate, but yeah. So something that's really close to my heart is sustainable living, and I'm really thankful for what the city has done. I remember when I first moved here and God first brought my family to Millville, did the community garden, kind of on 4th and Vine, and I think that things like that are a good way to get neighbors out and together. And it's also a concern of mine because as our congregation grows, we're beginning to look for a property, to look for grant money. And one of the things that we want to do in Millville is start a business incubator that also educates people on doing things like basic plumbing, basically electrical, urban homesteading in terms of doing sustainable food. And, you know, I was talking to Angelica over the internet, and I guess one of my concerns is the city's regulation on fowl, because one of the easiest ways to have a protein source is to have egg-laying fowl. Another way that I'm really familiar with our nonprofit partners in Huntington, West Virginia, is doing something like vertical farming, where you have fish and the waste filters through a system where it fertilizes the vegetables. So there's different ways to do this. But I guess one of my concerns is as we move into that different space, and one day in the next year when we're in a building, I'd really like to have that as an option to be able to educate people on, you know, how do you keep a clean chicken coop? How do you raise egg-laying fowl? My sister, she has a duck farm out in Pittsgrove. I think sharing some of that knowledge will be helpful, especially since a lot of our residents and neighbors here in Millville do struggle with hunger issues. I remember Commissioner Cott, I'm sorry, whenever Impact Harvest first got involved, I remember you were out there. I know it's something you care deeply about. And we all want Millville to do well. I want God's blessings to be on Millville. And something I really want us to honor is God's word. It says here in Genesis 1:28 that God blessed humans, saying to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subjugate it, putting it under your power and rule over it. And this word in Hebrew, literally, it's the same phrase to bake a cake. You take this ingredients from this wonderful world, you pop it in the oven, and out comes something beautiful. I want that to happen in Millville. I want to make beautiful things together, whether it's chicken eggs or art or whatever, because we all want this city to do well. And that's just my concern. So I love you all, and thank you for serving on commission, because it's not a job that I would want to do. And if you did have cage matches where Mrs. Reneo hit somebody with a chair, I think that it would be a lot better attended. So I'm in favor of that.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, but serious point, I'll leave it at this. I really want to see if the city at some point could maybe address some of those regulations so we could encourage sustainable living. So again, love you all, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Pastor Brian.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
It's funny but sad that he was so right with that joke. Hi, my name's Dave Moore. I'm a longtime Millville resident. Registered nurse for 35 years, just retired. It's been an enlightening meeting. I'm so glad I can put my brush out to the road, and please work on Buck Street. The Buck Street Park is an image of Millville. It was the crown jewel of Millville at one point, and I used to ride my bike down to Buck Street, and my grandchildren, I have 3 grandchildren and 10 great-grandchildren, so I'm blessed. But they encouraged me not to go down there, and I did see people smoking crack down there, and on the path just south of the Buck Street. And then there was a murder like 3 hours after I had been down there, and they sort of put their foot down, and I don't go down there anymore. But I'm not here for all those important things, and it's the image of the crime that's it's debilitating. But I'm here to talk about the chicken issue. I moved back to Millville when my parents passed away. My dad built a house on East Main Street when he came back from the war, and I was overjoyed to purchase it out my 4 brothers, and moved back to Millville. And when I was a kid, we had chickens and we had rabbits, and it allowed us to belong to 4-H. I got ribbons and esteem for raising those chickens and those rabbits. And there was no greater thing than bringing eggs in to your mother in the morning. So I'm a little concerned because Angelica is my granddaughter. And I guess I'm here on St. Patrick's Day while the brisk is busy at home because my great-grandchildren were upset about it. They still go down to the farm where the chickens moved. So I was motivated to get out of my retirement chair and come down here and talk about it because I don't understand. Agriculture is the science of producing food and livestock for consumption, but agriculture is also more than that. It's when you sell it and when you purchase it, you start having a lot of regulations, but not for, is it getting to the point where the city's going to tell me how many tomatoes I can have on my property? And you might scoff at that it's not a happy medium, but I have my neighbors over here who just lost their chickens. But last year I had a neighbor over here who always has a wonderful vegetable garden and was putting out free tomatoes. He doesn't do that anymore because of involvement with the city. They thought his garden was too large. And I don't know all the exactas about that case. I didn't really get that involved with him, but I know it stopped. Agriculture, from a zoning perspective, should be more about the business of agriculture and not people growing things to sustain their own families. And we all know that whether it's tomatoes or chickens, some days you have too many eggs, maybe. Some days you have way too many tomatoes or pears or anything else you grow, and you give them away. But that's causing problems for the residents of New Jersey, or for the residents of Millville, I should say. Most townships have a limit of 4, 6, 8 chickens. You can pick a number, but 0 chickens, it goes too far and it's sort of cruel. I did a lot of grant work, and so I appreciate the work of the police. Had the pleasure of working with a grant with the police. Big mental health nurse, ran the department, enjoyed myself working with the super strong churches in this community to provide home housing for as many individuals as possible over the course of my career. So I love Millville, and I respect it, and I appreciate the work you did. And Millville's been very good to me and my family, and continues to be. But on this particular incident, I just felt like I had to come in and question whether this ruling is too restrictive. Okay, so I appreciate everything you do, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name's Adele Faust from Millville. It's not what I'm up here for, but I'm on Team Chicken. Mr. Mayor, at your swearing in January, you expressed a desire for the public to hold you accountable during your time in office, so I'm here to correct an incorrect statement that you made on record at the last meeting. In response to changes in legal language being on the public comment guidelines for the agenda, the reason you gave was that at the previous meeting, defamatory statements were made against a new city employee based on rumors spread on social media. That statement was incorrect in two ways. The first is that no defamatory statements were made. Cornell Law School describes the legal standard for defamation against a public official is that the statement has to be false and said with actual malice and intent to cause damage to the person and with reckless disregard for the truth of the statement. Tickets are a matter of public record. Also, in regard to public officials, the New York Times versus Sullivan noted that the standard for actual malice differs to satisfy First Amendment protections as it relates to questioning government officials. So there seems to have been some confusion between the words defamatory and derogatory. The second incorrect part of your statement was that this citizen statement was based on rumors on social media. The person who made this statement never noted the source of their information, simply that the conversations had been had with other people. So this statement on your part is at best a misremembrance and at worst a fabrication, so I'm bringing it to your attention so that in the future you can be more careful with your words and facts. I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to keep you accountable as you asked, and I'm happy to see that the guidelines have been corrected from the last meeting to this meeting's agenda and that the legally threatening language has been removed. I would now like to address my concern that your citizens brought to you concerns about the qualifications of a city employee that we do not have the privilege of choosing for ourselves. And your response was to not only inform us that you went out of your way to recruit this person that we found concerning, but it was then to change the guidelines on the public comment section to add legally threatening language, which then had to be removed because it threatened our First Amendment rights. This response feels antagonistic, and it feels like an overreaction, and it can lead to the assumption that you do not like your decisions as mayor being questioned, even though you publicly asked for accountability. This can lead to serious concerns about your judgment as a mayor, and has led me to forming the opinion so far that you as a mayor have been highly disappointing and deeply unimpressive to me. And I very much hope that you can change my mind on that in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Faust. I would say this, I'll have to go back and watch the meeting, but I'm pretty sure, I'll go back and look, that the person said that what people were saying was online. And I'll have to check, I will go back and check that, and at our next meeting, I will give the exact wording for that. But if somebody comes up, I don't know if Mr. DiMichele wants to jump in, but I'll let you talk about the threshold for.
I'll commend you that your recitation of the law was correct. No question, 100%. The issue is that the person in question who the comments were being made about was not a public official.
According to that ruling, they are Sullivan versus the New York Times. That was a city employee. That was a police officer.
I don't want to debate this, but in my judgment, there is a difference between a private citizen and a public official. And all of the commissioners in front of you, no doubt, public officials. And so that higher threshold that you cited is correct. Where we may disagree is to the status of the then yet appointed engineer as a public citizen and an employee, a potential employee of the city. We may disagree.
Thank you, Mr. DiMichele. Mr. DeHeath.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is DeAndre Heath. I live on South 2nd Street here in Millville. I'm here this evening to talk about the influx of crime here in Millville, particularly the gun violence and the violent matters that we have been seeing here in the city. Tonight was a very informative meeting to learn that the city will be getting cameras, which is definitely a wonderful idea. Commissioner Taylor, I would like to also add that with the addition of cameras, perhaps we could utilize other technology as well in terms of AI technology that certainly will. And this technology is known as Shot Spotter. This technology is placed throughout the city within a 3-mile radius. It has the ability to identify the type of weapon that was fired, where the weapon was fired at, and it also gives the police officers who are on duty the opportunity to respond to the area and so forth. Hopefully, the cameras that will be installed in hotspot areas around the city, such as our city parks. Mrs. Forrest mentioned the area around 4th Street, which happens to be a well-known open-air drug operation. So hopefully these matters can be addressed and we could use the technology. And I'm happy to hear that there were several more officers who are being added on to the force. With that, I highly suggest that we could employ some type of community policing. It's important for police officers to be in the community on foot patrol, and that they can know the citizens, and especially in areas where there are higher crime rates and areas where there's illegal activity going on. So I thank the commission tonight for hearing my concerns and the fellow citizens who have also addressed their concerns this evening. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to address a couple things. Mr. Heath, especially, thank you for coming this evening. We've been having a couple meetings with a couple of the camera people, camera companies. AI technology is one of the options that we are absolutely looking at. And one of the cameras that we like particularly has that built into it. Not specifically ShotSpotter, same thing, more or less the same thing. That's one of the things that we've been looking at. The AI technology is very impressive when it comes to cameras. Might not be cost effective, but when it comes to the safety, I think we can spend a little bit more money for what we need. The community policing, I've been talking to the chief regularly. As soon as we are back up in manpower, he is going to reinstitute the community policing units and the special units within the city. We have to get there. Hopefully by the end of this year, we will have enough to do that. If we get to 80 officers, he will be instituting them back in, which we're trying to get there as quickly as we possibly can. The academies take time. Finding officers takes time. Vetting the officers takes time. The cadets takes time. So we are actively working on that, and thank you for your input, because that kind of input is exactly what we're looking for. People in the community, like you and Ms. Cotman and others that are getting involved. It's important. It's better for the community when people get involved, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can I say something?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, you
You're
have
not
to.
allowed to,
Yeah.
at this point. But you can come up after and speak to us if you like. All right. It's now time to move on to the comments by commissioners. I'd like to start with Commissioner Taylor.
Is there anybody else?
Oh, I don't see. Seeing nobody else at the podium, we will close the public comment portion of the meeting, and we will move on to comments by commissioners. Commissioner Taylor.
So like I was saying with Mr. DeHeath, community involvement is very important, especially on my end with public safety. With the way the world is today, people have to get involved. You have to step up. If you see something, say something. Call the police department. Give us as much information as you possibly can about what's going on. You need to. That's the way we can get officers out there to respond, to deal with things. You may not think what you saw was important, but your little bit of information might be the information that turns the case the way it needs to go so that we can solve it and get it done. You do not have to give your name. It helps, but you do not have to give your name when you call the police department to report an incident. You can be completely and totally anonymous. I did police dispatching for 25 years. I did emergency services dispatching for years before that. I know how difficult it is to call in things, to be scared to call things in because you're afraid of what your neighbors would say or what the people down the block or the boys at the bodega or whatever would say. It doesn't matter. Call it in. That's how we'll know. That's how we'll get there. It's important, especially with the way things are going on in the world today. If you see something, say something. Give a call. Let it come in. As far as chickens, I grew up in Millville. I've been here for 55 years. My father had an enormous garden when I was growing up. I too have an enormous garden now. 5-gallon buckets. Great thing. It's better than tearing up the ground, and stuff grows like crazy. It's a hobby for me now. It's enjoyable. The chicken discussion. At this time, I am very torn between it. I would have to do a lot more research. I would have to do a lot more discussing. I would have to look into it very hard before I would change the ordinance. I'm not saying that I am totally against changing the ordinance, but at this time, I'm not for it with the knowledge that I have. My father raised pigeons when he was younger. My father raised rabbits. My father had a farm on Cedar Street. My entire family farmed on Cedar Street. So farming's in my blood as well. I think anybody that grew up in the city of Millville at some point in time grew something or farmed something. So, at this point in time, I'm not for changing the ordinance, but I'm not totally against it either. So, I'll leave it at that. But, I listen to you. I've listened to everybody. Mr. Moore, I think I've dealt with you at some point in time. I know I have. But, it's important that the citizens of Millville know that we're listening. And I don't want to say that it was the police department that came out. Somebody had to have called either the inspections department or the animal or something. We don't look, the police department does not go out and look for people having chickens or anything like that. We would have to get a call at some point in time. And then it would be pretty much an inspections issue, I believe, at that point in time. Unless the animals were being abused, which yours obviously were not. So somebody had to alert somebody at some point in time. Did I address everybody? But yeah, that's all I have for right now. But thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight, too, by the way.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Ranella.
Sure, got a lot of notes here, so bear with me. Pastor Bryant, you had said something that I think that everybody in this room could collectively agree on. Where are you? There you go. And that is that we all want beautiful things in Millville.
Yes, we do.
I think that really, that's it right there. Mr. Moore, you had mentioned Buck Park. I have a small child. Since he's 2 years old and I moved to Millville, that was the first place I took him. And I love that park, and I want to see it improve, and I want to see that improvement collectively through all of us just keep spreading. I'm very hopeful. Mr. Heath, you mentioned spot shutter. I haven't heard that for a while. I've heard it for many, many years, probably since the day I moved here as well. So perhaps that's something that we could explore as well. One of the things I really want to address that really, I don't know, it just doesn't seem clear for anybody who's following, chickens aren't banned in Millville. There's no widespread ban on chickens in Millville. The ordinance really breaks it down on how much land you need to have chickens. The policing of people's yards. Our code enforcement is really, really busy. And I could assure you they're not actively going out and looking for chickens. There's a lot of, you could drive down the street and see everything that's going on here.
Busy.
Mayor Dixon had addressed some of those things with construction and illegal dumping is another issue. There's a lot crime, and not that that's code enforcement, but people who go into abandoned houses. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think that collectively we will look at the ordinance, but the way that the ordinance is written, it's not a new ordinance. It's not like it just showed up recently. And to be quite frank, this is the first I had heard anybody ever have any issue with it in the 10 years I've lived here. So I will look at it. I have looked at other ordinances in other cities in New Jersey, and they're kind of similar to ours. So I'll look again, and I will consider it. And I just want to thank everybody. And Mrs. Forrest, thank you. You mentioned everybody doing things collectively together. And I think that's what we're all trying to do as a community and as a commission. So I want to thank you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. You stole a lot of my thunder.
I apologize. I'm not a
That's all right.
psychic.
Thank you, Commissioner Ranello. Commissioner Cossabon.
Okay. First, Ms. Hanstein, is that how it, okay. Unfortunately, that ordinance is there for a reason. We didn't make it. I will look at it, but a rule is a rule is a rule, unfortunately, and I feel bad. I know your children probably gained a lot of insight and a lot of empathy and responsibility taken care of, but it's something we can look at, but not right now. Unfortunately, we have so many other things in this city right now that needs to be addressed, and again, I can't picture anybody driving by and saying, there's a chicken, and I just can't see that. So unfortunately, somebody has turned it in, and we had to look at it, and that's our job. I don't know, I guess maybe I am psychic, because as I sat at home today getting ready for the meeting, I had a couple things that I wanted to say, and Mr. DeHeath and Ms. Cotman, I didn't know that you were going to be here, but thank you all, because we need to hear from you. And my comment today was, everybody needs to do their part for a better Millville. And I'm going to tell you right now that these 5 commissioners up here, we give 150% at times. We're here because we want a better Millville. We truly, truly do. And it's funny that you're here telling us exactly what we know and what we need you guys, we need you to be our eyes. We can't be everywhere. I don't know that there's a pothole down the road unless you let us know. I don't see a crime over there unless you say something. We need you. We truly, truly do. And my last quote that I am going to say is, it's from Albert Einstein: you never fail until you stop trying. So keep trying for Millville. There's hope. I know we've got it. This is a great town. I've been here for a lot of years, and I love this town. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cossabon.
You're welcome.
Vice Mayor Cobb.
Well, good evening, and once again, thank everybody for coming. Whether, we agree, disagree. We love the more people that come up, even if we don't agree all the time. This is why we're here. There's 27,000 residents, so we have no problem hoping one day that Chief Wetstein can say, hey, you guys have too many people in this room. So please continue to come. Once again, I'm at, wow, right? You're like one of few people that would ever stop kids with guns. I'm telling you right now, if you're asking for my advice, never do that again. But I'm glad you told us after and you're safe. But wow, yeah, the concern you have for this Millville and the love you have for Millville shows, right?
I have a lot of police officers on speed.
I hope you had 5 of them on while you were walking out of your car that day. But God bless you, right? And I know exactly where you're at. Believe it or not, one of my first homes was 317 South 3rd. So I don't know where you're at there, but
I'm at 319.
so we were connected at one point. So obviously you moved in after I left, but I know exactly where you're at, and I've been in your house now, so I know where it's at. That sounds wrong, but you weren't there when I was there, right? So that doesn't sound any better. But yes, that is a community thing, right? Kids are out there.
I have the sign in front of my house. I am crime watch. Any illegal activity will be reported to law enforcement.
That sounds like a good place for a substation.
Yes.
You want to talk to the chief?
I have
but-
more signs than that, but I have a threatening sign. I have 2 guns. Talk about a crazy woman live here. My daughter got it. You know.
I love it.
And
I love it.
I got signs saying you are being watched.
Yep.
And, you know, my daughter hooks up the camera system. That's why I was trying to say I have my tablet and I have Xfinity is excellent.
I don't mean to cut you off, but me and you could probably talk for another 45 minutes, which I would love to do.
At the next meeting, you'll get another 5 minutes.
Yes.
One of my cameras, like even a gnat or a fly be flying in the air, it'd be a green square.
I like it. I like it. Bless you.
I'm gonna
Bless
let
you.
y'all know which cameras to get.
Ms. Hanstein, don't stop caring, right? Just keep doing it. You may not like everything we say up here, but we do fully appreciate everything you say up here. I know we don't say things that you want to hear all the time. I do have a daughter that has chickens. Now she's in Greenville, South Carolina, and I just want to give a shout out. Mrs. Puff died last week, and she was my daughter's chicken. So I know she's probably watching, so I want to give a shout out to Miss Puff. We love that chicken. Only a couple things, and I do love how well you're prepared you are. And I will never tell you how to, present anything. I'm not a fan when you equate police with construction, so I just want to let you know, to me, they're 2 different things. And I know what you were trying to say, but, police officers might take offense. They weren't out looking for your chickens. So to compare the crime with it, no, that's okay. And I get what you're saying. And same thing with, that was a beautiful thing with the women in World War II, and I would never like to, almost compare them to. But I get the hyperbole and what you were trying to say. But please, keep caring. That's never a bad thing. And listen, it's been a long time since me and you walked.
I miss you, man.
I miss you too, and I'm glad you still love me. So I appreciate that. I wasn't sure if you still do or not. But that community garden was a good thing, right? And it still is, yes. And those are the kind of things we need in the community, right? And you were there at the beginning when we were walking and doing that, so I do appreciate that. And I even think, I'm not sure if your grandfather was on a few of Zoom meetings that I was talking with mental illness while he was a nurse a few years ago, but he looks very familiar on some of the Zoom meetings I've been on when we were dealing with mental health and nurses. But I understand why you're here, right? I have 5 grandkids too, and it breaks your heart when you see certain things like that. And a lot of my kids are lucky enough to learn some of those things that your granddaughter's instilling in your grandkids, so. Mr. Heath, once again, man, really, shot spotter? Really? No, I'm just kidding. for those who've been around a while, know that's been around for a while. But I get your point, right? There is technology out there. We are looking at the newer and more improved technology. And community policing, you don't have to preach to me. I was a community policing officer. To me, there was no greater joy in my police career as being on community policing. And I understand that whole impact that has on everybody. So I appreciate everything you brought to the table. And once again, it's St. Patrick's Day. Some of you guys could be doing other things on St. Patrick's Day, and you chose to spend your wonderful evening with us because of the love you have for us, and I appreciate it. And that's all I have, man.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Cott. Let's start with chickens. It's always fun to start with chickens. So we, with our 250th anniversary, I'm going to somehow connect 250th anniversary with chickens.
I didn't know where you were going.
So I'm going to try to do that, see if I can make that bridge. We have the 250th anniversary of our amazing country coming. And a lot of people think that we live in a democracy. We live in a representative republic. And the beauty of our system of government is that it's not majority rules. The majority doesn't necessarily get to tell the minority what they can and can't do. This country, much of our system of government is set up to protect the minority of people from the majority. That's the beauty of this government is that, democracy, I think, if I can get this right, is, there's two wolves and a chicken sitting around, and they take a vote on what's for dinner. Chickens are for dinner. And that's, when you have a democracy where everybody gets to choose what goes on, then that's what happens. Chicken is for dinner. So our government is put in place to protect that minority. Now, at some point, 26 years ago, the commission saw fit, or the zoning board saw fit, to limit chickens to 1 acre and above. And I'm sure those reasons back in the day were good. All right. Is it, smell? Is it rodents? Is it nuisance of a bird jumping over a fence? Whatever those reasons are, that's what they put in place 26 years ago. And I'm sure they took a lot of time thinking about it. I'm sure they didn't say, hey, willy-nilly, let's outlaw chickens on anything less than an acre. I'm sure they thought very much about why you may not want chickens on a 0.46 acre piece of property. Now, I live in a medium residential area, and I know my neighbor doesn't necessarily take care of his yard well, and if he were to raise chickens, I would imagine it would smell. I'm not saying that you took care of your chickens wrong. But the way our government works is to protect those people who don't want to necessarily deal with rodent issues, who don't want to deal with smell issues, who don't want to deal with chickens hopping over the fence, because even though some people do things the right way, many do not. What you're saying is that we are going around policing chickens, which we are not. We are here today talking about chickens for one reason and one reason alone. Someone called and complained. We were told in one of the first meetings that I got permission from all my neighbors, and they told me that it was okay if we had chickens. Well, you know what? One of your neighbors called and said they don't like the chickens. Now, I don't know what they said exactly. They didn't like the smell or the birds, or I don't know what the exact complaint was. I can find out exactly what it was, I think. However, someone called and complained. And that's why our government is so great, because I should have the ability to sit in my backyard and not smell chicken poop. That's how our government works. 26 years ago, they put that ordinance in place to protect the rights of the people who want to be able to sit in their backyards and not possibly smell what it smells like with chickens production going on in the neighboring yard. Now, whether that was the right decision or not, that's the decision they made at the time. If that's something we're going to readdress and look closer at, perhaps it is. When we take the temperature here, when a commission takes time to put an ordinance in, they did it for a reason. We don't just, trust me, ordinances are not easy to get going, so that if they do that, there was pretty good reasons that they did it. So, as I mentioned, this has been in effect since 2001. It's not something that just happened yesterday. Our enforcement doesn't go around looking for chickens. The police don't go around looking for chickens. I'm pretty sure you said that. So somebody complained. What you're asking actually is for us to put a system of bureaucracy in place to enforce chickens. You want us to say on the 5th floor, let's have our inspectors go around and make sure chickens are, housed properly, that they're 25 foot from the property line, that they're in the right type of enclosures, that they have a certain amount of run area so now we have to put something in place to make sure people in these medium residential areas are doing chickens correctly. Because if you don't do chickens correctly, you're gonna have those problems. You're gonna have smell issues, you're gonna have rodent issues. And the first time you were here, you mentioned smell and rodent stuff. We do all these mitigating factors. And I am 100% certain that you did those things. However, I'm 100% certain that most people won't. 100% certain. Because it's a lot of work you probably went through to make sure your chickens were done correctly. Now, the problem with that is now we have to have a chicken bureaucracy and a chicken inspector, a guy with a badge shaped in it like a chicken, to go around and enforce the proper chicken rules. It's a lot of work. We already have tons of work when it comes to enforcement, code enforcement as it is. Those folks upstairs, from the moment they get here, the moment they leave, they are trying to clean this city up. That's where I stand on chickens. We can talk about it more, but I fall right now I live in a medium residential area, just like the one you're talking about, and I would not be, as a citizen, would not be for my neighbor having chickens. Mr. Heath, am I saying your name wrong this entire time? You have it. I am so sorry. I've been saying DeAndre DeHeath, which kind of it rolls off the tongue a little bit.
No, I said it
But
earlier too.
Did you say it too?
DeHeath,
So it's
yeah.
DeAndre
It's just Heath?
Heath.
Oh, apologize, sorry.
I'm sorry about that. So thank you for coming. And Ms. Cotman, I am your spirit animal when it comes to the things that you're talking about. Thank you so much. I mean, it feels like you're saying that. I go, every time I walk in this building, these are the things I say. Sometimes nobody's listening anymore. I'm just sitting in my office saying it to myself. But these are things that I say all the time. Public safety is, I think we all walk in this building every day looking for ways to make the public safer. So thanks for your concern. I had something else that I was going to go into, and that was going to take a while. I'm going to save that for next time. It was really good.
That was good. I was timing you.
How far, what are we at now?
You were over your limit, but
There is no
I
limit.
wasn't going to kick you right.
You know what? Maybe I will do this just to
No, you
spite you.
won't.
Anyway, so I do want to thank everybody that comes. Although we may not agree on chickens, I know you guys care about this city, and we may never agree on chickens, but I appreciate your input. I appreciate you coming out. I appreciate you having a voice. And we may never change the chicken ordinances for less than an acre. However, we do appreciate you coming, Pastor Brian, appreciate you coming. But to be continued. All right? And with that, can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'd like to make a motion.
Second?
Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cott?
Yes.
Commissioner Casabun?
Yes.
Commissioner Ranello?
Yes.
Mayor Dixon?